Hello. Well, as you can see, I'm vaping with my new e-pipe from Steve Johnson. It's a converted tobacco pipe. So I believe it's briarwood. It's got this nice hexagonal shaped bowl, if you can see that, which makes it very nice to hold. And it vapes very well. Good contacts. I've just put a fresh battery in, and I'm vaping shade tobacco from Red Vape, which is a cigar tobacco. In fact, I reviewed it, I think, a couple of weeks ago. Now, over the past couple of weeks that I've developed this interest in e-pipes, it's also brought to mind something that I've been thinking about, mulling over for a couple of months now. Yeah, it was about 2 months ago. I was watching a vape review from James Cloud, an American guy, and he likes his tobacco e-liquids, and he was reviewing liquor, the full range, uh, which is something of a feat because I think there's about 10 or 12 tobaccos in the liquor range, and he did it all in one video. So the video's, I don't know, about an hour long, hour and a half long, but he did a very good job, and it piqued my interest in liquor because I'd never heard of them before. And since then I have bought several of their flavours, and they are very good. They're synthetic, but they are very good. Uh, but what I noticed when I was watching the video is in the recommended section, two more of his videos showed up about DIY natural extracted tobacco liquids. In other words, how to make it yourself. So of course I clicked on the first one. It's part one, part two. And he talks you through step by step how he actually makes his own NETE liquids, because he enjoys vaping tobacco. He doesn't use nicotine, which I thought was very important. I'll get back to that. But he enjoys cigar flavours. So he used to smoke cigars. And he basically makes the juice himself. And all you do is you get some tobacco, you put it into a jar, you cover the tobacco in PG, and he recommends PG, and then you leave it for about 2 or 3 months. This is a slow process, but you leave it for 2 or 3 months, and you shake every day the jars to make sure that all the tobacco is evenly distributed. And what you end up with after 2 or 3 months is a very thick concentrated e-liquid, which you then dilute. And in a follow-up video he made, and I'll put links to these videos in the description, but in a follow-up video he made, he vapes the liquid, and he said he used a 4-to-1 ratio, so it was a 20% concentrated flavour. Or he also recommends 25% as well. So that's got me thinking, I remember when I watched the videos, all of these tobaccos that I hear people review, because I do watch a lot of pipe presenters on YouTube, and all these blends, these pipe blends that they talk about and that they review and that they rave about. This is a way for me to actually be able to enjoy those blends as well, because I buy the tobacco, I soak it in PG for a couple of months, and then I dilute it and vape it. You have to filter the concentrate, obviously, because you've got to get rid of all the tobacco, and it's a 3-step filter process, but he talks you through it all. Very good videos, and yeah, it's been something I've been thinking about now for a couple of months. and I'm gonna do it. I've decided I'm going to do this. Uh, in the update video, which I recommend you actually watch first, because it answers a lot of questions you're going to have in the DIY videos. He doesn't recommend you use cigarette tobacco for this, and for good reason. And he only recommends you use the cold extraction method. This guy's done his research. He's a very knowledgeable bloke, and there's a very good reason why you don't use alcohol-based or heat-based extraction methods with tobacco. So watch the update video first, and it will probably answer a lot of questions you would have when you watch the DIY videos. But they're really very self-contained, and as far as the process goes, there's no questions at all. You know, it's a very easy step-by-step process to make your own e-liquid. So I thought, yeah, this sounds good, because suddenly all that tobacco is now available to me. I can enjoy it as well. And I've also worked out this week that the cost benefit, the cost saving is absolutely amazing. When you think that for an NET tobacco, I'm paying usually anywhere from about £5 to £6 for 10 ml. And I did some very quick back of an envelope calculations, and a 10 ml bottle would work out, if I did it myself without the nicotine, at about 25p. Well, you know, 25p or £6. That's a big saving. So yeah, I've decided I'm gonna try this little project. So, and the way I've calculated that, as I said, it's all rough, because I'll know better after I've done it. But I've bought myself a litre of PG, which is, I think it was just under £10. So let's call that £10. And the tobacco, 50 grams was £14.50. So we'll call that 15. So my initial outlay there is £25. And I'll be using, well, I won't be using all the PG, because when I dilute the final solution, I'll probably use a mixture of PG and VG. I bought some VG as well, a litre of that. But let's just say that the actual quantity is £10, whatever the mixture is. So that's £25 with the tobacco. And that will then give me about a litre of e-liquid. Well, 10 ml, if a litre's costing me £25, a hundredth of that is 25p. So it's 25p for 10 ml, as opposed to the £5-6. That's how I've worked it out. It's all very rough, and I'll have a better understanding of the cost when I finish the project. But still, it's not going to be that much more. I think I'm pretty much in the right ballpark. So you're paying pennies instead of pounds. So I bought myself some PG and VG, and the tobacco I've chosen is a Peterson blend, which is a Dublin tobacconist. Peterson's Balkan blend, which is a mixture. It's not actually a Balkan blend, which is a very interesting name for it. It's an English blend, so it's a mixture of Virginia and Latakia with Perique. And I've chosen that for a reason. I didn't want a single leaf blend. I wanted a blend of different tobaccos, because I think it'll be interesting just to see. What I'm going to actually do is every week I'm going to take about 1 ml of the liquid in a syringe and vape it. And then I can see how the flavour profile and the flavour intensity increases over the weeks. Because this is my first one, I don't really know. So I think that'll be a good thing to do. And of course I'll be reviewing it each week and tell you how that flavour is developing. But I think it'll be interesting to see if different types of tobacco extract the flavours at different rates. So week one will probably be a very mild tobacco flavour, but is it all the Virginia? And you've got to wait till week two or till week four before you start to get any of the Perique or any of the Latakia. So I think that'll be interesting in itself, just to see how this tobacco develops, how the intensity of the flavour develops over the 2 or 3 months. Now, as I said, when you're finished, you've got a very, very strong e-liquid, which means that there must be some point over those 2 months when the flavour intensity is actually where you want it to be. In which case, I suppose you could stop there and take whatever amount of PG it's taken to cover the tobacco, say 300 mils, and just filter that and vape that. So you don't have to wait the full 8 to 12 weeks. It's just, if you do, then you get a very concentrated flavour, which you then dilute. With this guy, this James Cloud, yeah, he's done his research and he knows his stuff. So I'll put links down below, and watch the update video first. That's very interesting. It's a half-hour video, but he really answers a lot of questions that I had when I watched the how-to videos. So it saves time and a lot of head scratching if you perhaps just watch that first. But I do know that there's a lot of tobaccos I would have liked to have tried, and I've always would have, thought, oh, I wonder what that really tastes like, and can I try and recreate it with NET liquids? Because one of my pet gripes has always been as well is that in the e-liquid world, the NET liquids tend to just be single leaf. Like with Drake, there's a Virginia, there's a Burley, there's a Kentucky, there's, I think they do a cigar, Havana. And really, if you wanted to make your own blend, or you wanted to try and recreate a tobacco blend, you sort of had to get 3 or 4 different bottles and mix them together. Well, then that becomes, at £6 a bottle, that becomes quite expensive. And there's a guy in Germany I like to watch. He's called Bremen Pipe Smoker. He likes HU tobaccos. HU are a German blender, and he does some very good videos. They're in English, and he likes to review a lot of seasonal tobaccos, and that's something else you don't see much in the vape world. But tobacco blenders, as well as having the running stock, they'll also do seasonal blends. So they'll just do blends they make in the summertime, or blends they make winter, or even Christmas, special Christmas blends. Peterson, whose tobacco I've bought, they make a special St. Patrick's Day blend because they're Irish. And every year they'll make a new St. Patrick's Day blend. And they don't make it any other time of the year. And they'll never make it again, because every year they make a new St. Patrick's Day blend. So he's very good at reviewing those types of tobaccos, the seasonal tobaccos. And then there's the guy in South Africa, Thabo. He likes his Latakias. So he does reviews of a lot of sort of English blends, and he's a very good reviewer. I enjoy him. So yeah, it's just a way of me being able to enjoy all these tobacco blends. So I'm going to make another video this week when all my stuff comes, and I'll show you the tobacco. I'm going to use a coffee jar. I'm going to put the tobacco in an instant coffee jar, empty one, of course. And then I'll pour the tobacco over that, pour the PG over that, and then every week, as I said, I'll take a mill out, and this is something that James Cloud did. He took a mill out every week, and that's when he realised that between 8 to 12 weeks, all that flavour has been extracted. You're not really getting anything else by leaving it longer. So somewhere between 8 to 12 weeks, you've pretty much got all of the flavour out of the tobacco, and so that's like a bit of an experiment that I'm going to try myself every week, at least for the first 2 weeks, and then maybe every 2 weeks. I'll take 1 or 2 mils out and just vape it in a syringe so I don't get any of the tobacco, and just vape it. And I can chart then the progress of the liquid and the intensity of the flavour. And it's a nice little hobby because I plan to keep a little notebook, so I'll be able to write in, okay, 50 grams of Peterson's Balkan blend, so much 300 mils of PG and so on, left for 8 weeks or something like that. And then I can always go back to those notes if I ever want to repeat the process and make that blend again, make it into an e-liquid. I can go back and say, all right, yeah, oh well, this blend was great after 6 weeks, or no, I only have to wait 6 weeks. Just look through my notes. So a nice little hobby, and one that saves a lot of money. So I'll make the video. I think I should get everything to me by Thursday. So on Thursday I'll probably upload a video, and I'll show you what I've got, and I'll mix up the PG and the tobacco, and I'll show you how it looks in the jar, and then, as I said, every week we'll have a taste and see how it's developing. Okay, so that's my video for today. There's my pipe. As I said, I'm enjoying that. That's a really nice vape. And I'll see you again, well, sometime this week. Bye bye for now.